At one point, at the highest, I was trading 350,000 of other people's money. What we're teaching you is the highest probability, lowest risk strategies. So what we're not going to do is we're not going to walk down dark alleys in the hood. We don't know if there's something dangerous waiting down there for us, but what we know is there's a high probability that there is. Not walking down dark alleys in the hood. We're not going to marry Papa, who was a Rolling Stone, right? Because we don't know if he's going to cheat on us and go have some babies. But we do know that there's a high probability that he will cheat on us and have some babies because he's a Rolling Stone, right?
Andrea and I invite you to take a sneak peek into week one orientation and invite you to also join the high probability trading only masterclass. There are 2 seats available. Once you register, you'll get immediate access to the replays. And here's some of the reasons why everyone should learn short term trading as a skill. Blindfolds have been put on us as it relates to trading and how trading can really subsidize our incomes if we know what we're doing. And so that's why high probability trading only are the only strategies that we are discussing during these 8-week sessions. We are only focused on 65% and higher probabilities in order to make sure that we walk away profitable versus in the hole. Andrea?
Yes. So by day, I am a headhunter, and by night, I do many things. One of which in 2020, I started to learn how to trade stock, and then in June, started to learn how to trade options. Mind you, I have an MBA in finance, but for anybody who has an MBA or studied finance can tell you it's very theoretical. And when you're in class, people use a lot of acronyms and they make it seem inaccessible. I think what we're here to do is to try to make it accessible and real. So I was studious, very interested in it, and soon became a coach in the program that I learned from. And like him said, formed a group, and we've been meeting every Wednesday for about 5 years. One of the things, the benefits of having a group and being together for so long is that not only are we able to see market cycles, but we're also able to understand each other's trading personalities. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. Since 2020, I have been trading stock, options, and futures. Like Kim said, there are a lot of people teaching about a lot of different strategies. What we're teaching you is the highest probability, lowest risk strategies. I encourage you while you're learning this to not pollute with anything else, any other strategies. You're going to have uncles and cousins that are going to tell you they trade Forex, they do all this, you should do this, and you should do that. You can get to that. But you have to learn the fundamentals first. And if you get distracted by a lot of other things, so I'm telling you, until you master the basics, please don't cloud your mind with a bunch of other stuff. Who
Wait, can
you
I just
are.
add though?
Uh-huh.
Andrea's being a little humble right now. Andrea was also a prominent coach in one of the options courses that we were both part of and still part of, we have lifetime membership, so to speak. And not only did she coach the beginners, she also coached the VIP students. And so this is not something that is new to her, right? She's also has been a part of a few combines where she traded other people's money, right? She had to test into these combines and then she was allowed to use other people's money to make them money and her money as well. So I just needed to add that. And it has been over 5 years since we've been meeting every Wednesday. And so I just needed to add those key points because, she's not going to do it. So I have to. But go ahead. Sorry.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that reminder. That's interesting. So at one point, at the highest, I was trading 350,000 of other people's money. So now we'd love to know who you are. Can we get a quick intro, who you are, where you're from, and maybe like one reason why you joined the class, what you want to get out of it? Wonderful. Okay, so I think that's it. And you hear some themes in people's why, right? Location independence, uncapped income, flexible schedules, wanting another source of income to do whatever, move or pay off some things. And trading can do all of that if you're patient with yourself, you have the right approach, and you follow the rules. We've paced the course so that it's not so overwhelming. And like Kim said, this can be the foundation for other strategies, more complicated strategies, but you really have to master the fundamentals. The good thing, though, is that it's not difficult. Give yourself some grace. It'll be like you're learning a new language. But once you learn it, you'll be fluent, and it won't take that long. So just don't get frustrated and uh, and stay with us. And then in week two, we'll start with the strategies, and I will show you what that means. It's a clean, rules-driven setup designed for traders who want clarity and simple confirmation signals. That has about a 70 to 75% probability of success. And then week three, and that has a 75 to 85% probability. Again, institutional level trading with strong confluence. We'll explain what that means. It's a power setup that gives beginners a real edge. Week four, that's one of Kim's signature strategies with a 65 to 70% probability. It's a high momentum morning strategy with strong probability curve when confluence is present. Week five, again, 70 to 75%. It's a stable, predictable, and ideal strategy for beginners wanting clear direction. Week six, we're going to teach you how to protect your capital. We're going to go deep into the watch list, alerts, and stop loss. Week seven will be execution mastery and simulator reps. So we'll refine the execution. This is really where we get the reps in and build your confidence. And then week eight is advanced confluence and income blueprint. So you'll learn how to stack confluence, which we will explain to you, build weekly income plans, and operate like a disciplined professional. We're going to have a bonus chart party class after graduation. That's a high level overview of the 8 weeks. When you think about probabilities, right? Think about basketball. Shaq was notoriously bad free throw shooter. So anytime the opponent wanted to foul, it was better to foul Shaq because he was such a bad shooter. So you're thinking about stats and probabilities. A firefighter is a risk manager. Think about it because they don't just run into a burning building. They don't hope when they're going in. They make an analysis, they make a calculation. They go in because they've calculated the danger, they've mapped the exits, they've checked their gear, they've established the protocols that keep the casualties as low as possible.
The framework. Oh, there's a couple things I just wanted to say. So, when it comes to mindset, you have to focus on the mindset more than you focus on the trading. This is not something that the person with the 160 IQ will be better than the 130 person with the 130 IQ. And what that means to me is even smart people, brilliant people without the right mindset will do horribly in the market as compared to someone who's average but has their mindset locked and loaded, right? They're locked in. We want to control our mindset. Sometimes you're going to have to wait for a minute for things to happen. There was a gap right here. This was back in January of 2023. It almost filled, but it didn't fill until April of 2025. But once it filled, it did what I knew it was going to do. Well, actually, what the chart said it was going to do. So I just wanted to share that sometimes when Andrea talked about the patience, you really have to lean into that. You can't force the stock to get to a point. You have to wait for it to get to a point and then know that it's going to react the way it should react. That's pretty much how we are going to move as we do high probability trading only.
And just to double tap on that, I know you're probably sick of this, but it's so important. So what we're not going to do is we're not going to walk down dark alleys in the hood. We don't know if there's something dangerous waiting down there for us, but what we know is there's a high probability that there is. Not walking down dark alleys in the hood. We're not going to marry Papa, who was a Rolling Stone, right? Because we don't know if he's going to cheat on us and go have some babies. But we do know that there's a high probability that he will cheat on us and have some babies because he's a Rolling Stone, right? That's what we're talking about. So if you say, oh, Papa, he's so cute, he's so nice, he took me to dinner. No, we're not doing that. Or, oh, I know this hood. Nobody's down there. Nobody's gonna get me. Nobody. I'm tough. I have my knife. No, we're not walking down the alley. It's a mindset thing.
These high probability trading strategies simplify the trading process and takes away the stress. Can't wait to see you in class.